Alright, so today I want to talk about the two projects that were initially part of the one team, which is Meta from Facebook, and then split into two separate teams, and that's Sui and Aptos. Now, to start off with Sui, I did a review video a while ago, and many things have happened since then. I know that they've got quite a large ecosystem, and there are a lot of builders on there. But one of the things that caught my attention is that they're constantly publishing big announcements, like working with different teams, like taking part in hacker houses, like hackathons. They're hosting a lot of AMAs. They're really working hard, and you can really tell, just by looking at all these different posts, that they're really trying to grow and to spread the word, just like many other teams out there, mostly the ecosystems, which are trying to promote themselves as much as possible by attending conferences, by talking to leaders from different countries, and trying to build some kind of partnership. And here we can see they've just announced a partnership with Myth recently, Myth.io. And apparently Myth enables creators and brands to build truly customizable and rewardable offerings for their communities. You can go on their website, Myth.io, if you're interested to see what it's about. But aside from that, just like lots of different announcements, lots of different partnerships, like stablecoin talk, everything. Like, look, this one here. Society is coming to Sui, right, in late 2024. I'm assuming like between the summer and maybe late 2024, we're going to see a lot of announcements, a lot of integrations on Sui. But for now, it's just those partnerships and just building. And now when it comes to the actual price of Sui, we can see that, ever since it listed in 2023 and it traded at like $1.40, that was like early on, like soon after listing. It did dump a lot because, to be fair, like 10% of it was in circulation, 10% of the total supply. So, that was expected, given that people were afraid to buy, and so much was being unlocked as well. So, it definitely reached its bottom here by the looks of it, in October 2023, when it went to like, 30 cents, 38 cents. So what it did then is it pumped to the rest of the market. As you can see here, we've had this major pop here in March 2024, and then it just started dumping. So even though it went to $2.20 or close enough to it, it dumped all the way down to like 90 cents, and we had that major crash, and then it went back up to like 140, and now it's starting to pull back again, and this is on the 1-day chart. So Sui is still in the early phase. There was definitely a hype momentum, with the rest of the market, but then things died out, just like the rest of the market. Now, when it comes to Aptos, I would say, are a bit more advanced than Sui, but Sui seem to be more community focused, whereas Aptos are trying to target developers more so, kind of like Polkadot, because they've even created a tutorial here on aptoslabs.com. If you go to learn.aptoslabs.com, you can find a tutorial on how to actually build on Aptos using the Move programming language, and how to deploy your own NFT project as well, and maybe a DApp and other things like that. So yeah, and they've also been attending a lot of conferences. And when it comes to the price of Aptos, as you can see, like when they initially listed, it was trading at maybe close to $10. Yeah, close to $10 initially, and then he had that pump, like just basically one day after listing to close to $10. Then it dumped all the way down to $3.20. Then it had a major pop to over $20 in January 2023. I remember that because there was a lot of hype around it then, and then it was just dumping. So that was just mostly manipulation here. It's obvious manipulation because it was on a constant downtrend here after that massive pump, which was probably caused by market makers at the time, right? And then it moved up with the rest of the market, which is good to see. But just like Sui, it had a major pullback. But unlike Sui, the pullback is actually nastier, because as you can see here, like this dump here that happened from $19, close to $19, so basically almost retested the all-time high. And it pulled back so fast that it's actually much faster than the last pullback that it had in 2023. So it's obvious that the volume that was pushed in has left it very, very quickly. So imagine to go all the way down to $7. And now, like, my concern personally, like for me, if I was to get into this, is like, what if we're just going to see like another pullback and then consolidation? Because this is what we've seen here. We had the huge pullback, went up a bit, you know, and then down, 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 and then consolidation on the downtrend, right? We've had some consolidation there, as in it didn't continue dumping much harder. It just consolidated, but on a downtrend until the trend changed. So for me, like until I see some kind of trend change here, there's no point for me to get in, because even when we'll see the trend change, it's probably not gonna pump like crazy from the beginning, right? Even here, like when the trend changed, as you can see, we dumped, and then all of a sudden, in just like a couple of days, as you can see, we had these major green bars which took out the previous support area. So this basically tells us, yep, there's demand, it's gonna pump. So for me personally now, like I'm just gonna wait, because this isn't looking pretty on the 1-day chart. It's on a red bar, and we've had multiple red bars here on the 1-day chart. So in the last 4 days, it's just been red bars here. It could be another red bar soon, as the 25-day moving average is crossing below the 50-day here. So we could be seeing more downward action for Aptos. But until we see that trend change, like I'm not gonna get in, because I'm thinking, you know, I could possibly buy Aptos at like $5 or $6 again, and then, you know, we may see that trend change. So if we see a trend change like at $6.50, $7 again, then that's a clear sign that we're moving into the uptrend again. And I'm not saying that this is only going to happen to Aptos, likely to other ecosystem coins too, but you know, Aptos is definitely one of them, because I think there's going to be demand. I think just like with Sui, they're constantly building. They're not going anywhere. So if the investors are finished dumping, at least the VCs that got in early, they likely offloaded most of their bags. Maybe they've held some. You know, we can expect some more market maker movement with the rest of the market. So I think like Aptos has a good potential when the trend changes. In terms of hodling long term, yeah, sure. But for me, like given the scenario with this trend right now, it's just not worth getting in for me personally. Okay, again, there are areas of support here, so it could just hold around this area. It might not go much lower, but until I see that breakout here, maybe to even like $10, I'm not confident that, you know, it's a good price to get in at for me personally. So yeah, Aptos is definitely one I'm looking at. Also Sui and also Near. These three are assets that I'm looking to hold, because they haven't had like any major catalyst in terms of deliveries yet. So I'm waiting to see that, because Solana has had deliveries, Polkadot has had deliveries, Cosmos has had lots of deliveries. So they've kind of had their time, their moment, right? I'm not saying they're gone anywhere, but they're just like the hype has kind of cooled out. Whereas the hype has cooled off. Whereas with Sui and Aptos, I think they're still starting now. They were pumped by market makers, but we haven't seen proper deliveries, proper products yet to really drive that demand. So I think when that happens, that's when you know, we're gonna see some major momentum for both Aptos and Sui. And these are two that I've got my eyes on, and they're on my radar. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you hold any Aptos or Sui, or are you planning to get some eventually? Are you also waiting for a bigger pullback and maybe then a reversal, or just a bigger pullback in general? Let me know. What do you think? Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.